And I was crying, I was screaming, I was saying, I really don't want to be doing this, but I just need to get this out of my body. And that is what it was, an expression of that deep, deep anger that I had towards this person. And I think people need to hear this, and they need to know that they are allowed to express how they're feeling in a safe space, so that they don't go out and do something, you know, that might get them into trouble. Because how many people, right, out there that have got a criminal record because the only way they've dealt with what they've gone through is by imploding, drugs, alcohol, or exploding and actually assaulting somebody. I know so many young people that have got into fights at school. How many of them are expressing their rage from what they've gone through? Yeah. So it's just a safe way of expressing what you're going through, but in a safe space.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes perfect sense to me. It really does.
It probably won't to other people, though. They're probably going, oh, we've got to stay away from Chris.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think, not in this line of work. I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right.
I think, you know, there are so many. One of the things I wanted to get across was to really show that there are so many different ways to deal with what it is that you've experienced, not just the going to the doctors and going for therapy. Yes, that's great. But there are other things that people can do to help to get some relief, to start to explore what's happening to them. And I actually think that is a really great example of what it is that people are doing to help them to release that anger, to release the emotion, to break free of the cycle. Ultimately, is what you're doing, is stopping that ongoing cycle it is that you're experiencing, that not everybody necessarily knows about, but you're struggling with day on day.
And I didn't even know I was struggling with it until I did this EMDR therapy. You know, I've done all kinds of therapy. I've done the reasoning and the talking, as I said, and it was just like when I went into this EMDR, my body was doing the talking, not me. My throat would close up. I would literally shake with rage, with my tears coming out my eyes, and I still couldn't verbally express it. All I could say to her was, my throat's tightening up. I'm fighting against being violent because I'm not violent, but I feel like I need to, you know, go back to when I was 15 and deal with that situation differently, because it's lived with me all my life and it's been suppressed, and I've never dealt with my emotions. So for me, part of the proper recovery for me is to allow myself to feel. And, you know, lots of people don't like seeing angry people, and I get it. I don't either. But if you just suppress the anger, it's going to come out somewhere and somehow. So you have to express it, and there's different ways of expressing it. Hopefully not through your fists in a relationship, people. So if you're finding yourselves in a relationship where you are using your fists against someone else, or you're on the receiving end of that, you don't have to put up with it. You need to get help, you know, because that's not the answer. It's not the answer. But we do have to have a safe place where we can talk about this stuff and where we can actually do what we need to do to get ourselves out of that cycle.